Hello, greetings from Hyderabad. Today's event focuses on exploring Sitecore Content Hub, a practical guide to DAM and CMP modules, presented by Swati Gupta and Himmat, and hosted by Vishal and Yamini. Over to you, Swati and Himmat. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Yamini. Uh, Welcome everyone to Singapore. Sitecore User Group, Hyderabad. Let me share my screen. Let me know if it's visible.
Yep, we can see the screen now.
Sorry, thanks again. So welcome everyone, Sitecore User Group Hyderabad. Today we going to explain in this webinar about the exploring the Sitecore Content Hub. The Sitecore Content Hub is one of the Sitecore composable product. As we all know that Sitecore moving towards the cloud native approach and headless. So this is one of the product Sitecore has, that is Sitecore Content Hub, and it comes with the number of modules, different type of modules. But in today's webinar, we will focus on two module out of those 5 module. One is the DAM and CMP, Digital Assets Management and Content Marketing Platform. So these 2 modules we will be explore in this today's webinar, and the webinar will be focused on the practical approach. So rather than focus on theory, we will lean towards the practical approach. So before starting to this one, let me introduce myself first. So I am Himmat Singh Dulawat. I am 3-time Sitecore Technology MVP 2022 to 24. I'm Sitecore Content Hub Developer Certified. I'm Sitecore XM Cloud Certified. I'm Sitecore CDP Certified. I also certified in Sitecore 10 and Sitecore 9. I have also expertise into Sitecore manage Cloud Azure PaaS and DevOps expertise I have. All the learnings which I do into the Sitecore, challenging parts, and any new functionality products, what I explore into the Sitecore, I do share my knowledge with the site in my blog post. So you can visit himmatsinghulawat.blogpost.com for all other findings and learnings, all the sharing on this my blogspot. So over to you, Swati.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. My name is Swati Gupta. I'm also 3-time Sitecore Technology MVP from 2022 and 2024. I'm also certified in Sitecore Content Hub, Sitecore XM Cloud, as well as certified in the CDP and Personalized. Also, I have done certification in Sitecore 10, 9.0, and 8.2. I also frequently share my blogs on this link, which is mentioned in this slide, which covers about my learning discoveries and troubleshooting tips. So you can explore more of this insight and the tutorials on this link. Yeah. So today agenda we are going to discuss about this topic, which we are going to discuss about introduction of the Sitecore Content Hub and its key modules. So what are the key modules is available into the Content Hub that we are going to discuss about, as well as we are going to discuss we are going to walk through our integration of Sitecore CMS with the digital access management, which is the DAM, for the seamless assets storage, retrieval, and management across the platform, as well as we are going to explore how to connect the Sitecore CMS with the CMP, which is a content marketing platform, to a streamlined content and creation and the collaboration. And the last part, we are going to discuss about some open question clarification and discussion if we have. Yeah.
Uh, Thanks, Swati. So let's start with our first key, our first part, that is introduction about the Sitecore Content Hub and modules. So we'll first learn a little bit theory. We should know about that. So we'll learn about what the Sitecore Content Hub modules, and we'll focus on mainly 2 modules. So what is Sitecore Content Hub? The Sitecore Content Hub lets organize to manage and optimize their and distribute their digital assets, streamline their content creation and processes, and enhance collaboration among the team involved in marketing, content management, and digital experience. So in this diagram, you can see the left side, all the participant vendors, they have all the content, assets and everything. So they share all the content, digital assets in one platform, that is a Sitecore Content Hub, where we can perform all the operation like manage those workflow, create, collaborate, search, distribute, perform any operation, then publish those assets to the CMS, e-commerce, social posts. So if you want to relate this thing, so before that we enter in Sitecore Content Hub, we used to Sitecore XP. There is a media library, and in the media library we have all the assets, content, and if we have a huge content, large assets, then performance issue we face, and we need to open our Sitecore XP for other vendor partners to contribute their content and media libraries or open API. We need to provide, write our custom API. So the Sitecore Content Hub provide a solution for that, where we manage all the content assets using the workflow. We can define draft, review, approval, perform all the operational content, and using the Sitecore Content Hub, we can provide all the content, digital assets, and publish to the other application or CMS e-commerce application. So this is about the Sitecore Content Hub. And in Sitecore Content Hub, we have a 5 module, DEM, CMP, PCM, MRM, WP. So first one is digital assets management, where we can manage all the digital assets, like audio, image, video, media files, everything we can manage into the digital assets in the DAM module. The next one is MRM, marketing resource management. Marketing resource management is if we work closely with this module will help us to large global and distribute marketing team, as well as third party to contribute to coordinate with their work. So if you're working with the agency, copyrights, designer, trainer, and other stakeholders, so MRM will help us there. Third one is product content management, that PCM. If we have a e-commerce type of application, there we can use the PCM module, where we can manage the product, their service portfolio, their relation product with their assets, and customer support using digital channel. And the PCM, we can create a catalog of all the product catalog we can create. So if we have e-commerce type of application, we can use this module. The fourth one is content marketing platform. We have content to create a campaign, content management process, drafting, reviewing, publishing, defining the workflow, all the content we can for that we can use the CMP, content marketing platform. The last one is a web to print. So web to print is a feature that help to create print assets which meet brand guideline, that includes ability designer to attractive print template, create printable product sheet, convert static graphics into small templates, all the thing. So it's a basic about this modules. Uh, Sorry, this modules. So these 5 modules, but out of those 5 modules, we only going to discuss about the 2 module, that is a digital assets management and content marketing platform. So yes, digital assets management, that module focus on assets management, media, audio, PDF, image, video. And inside core, it provides a single repository where we can store, manage all our digital assets, image, video in single repository. Content management platform, that features such as content creation, editing, publishing tool, that provide a user-friendly environment, user-friendly interface where a user can draft their content, share those content to review, approval process, and integration capability with other system. Like you have a CMP module, you can integrate with the Sitecore as well as other third-party application, and seamlessly you can manage all the content using the life cycle. So these 2 modules we will discuss in this part. So in this part, in practical approach, we going to learn about how we can connect this Sitecore Content Hub with our Sitecore XP. So instead of managing media library assets and content as a bucketable item, we manage all the CMP and DAM into the Sitecore Content Hub. We'll connect the Sitecore Content Hub to Sitecore XP using the Sitecore connector, and how we can browse those assets media library in Sitecore XP media library, and how we can sync the content into from Sitecore Content Hub to Sitecore XP. So we make a connection from Sitecore Content Hub to Sitecore XP using the action trigger. When author will create any new content into Sitecore Content Hub, that automatically will sync to the Sitecore XP and will have all the content. So these all practical aspects we going to be explored in this webinar. Uh, so over to you, Swati. So first one is connect Sitecore CMS. So Swati will explain this one.
Yeah, so firstly, we are going to discuss about how we can connect DAM with a Sitecore CMS. So there are a few things we are going to discuss about in this agenda. First, we are going to discuss about the prerequisite. What are the prerequisite it will be required to connect with the DAM, as well as we are going to discuss about how we can run after the prerequisite, how we can run the PowerShell command, what are the parameters we need to be passed, as well as we are going to discuss about what are the settings we need to be doing to the web config to enable the DAM, and how to generate the auth token. So once we will generate the auth token, then how we are going to use that client ID and the secret ID in our connections. So how we are going to do that, that we are going to discuss. As well as we are going to discuss about how we can configure the course in the DAM, and how we can create a users, and how we can add a connection string, and what are the things we need to be added to the connection strings, and how we can do the portal configuration, how we can set the redirect settings, and how we are going to test the DAM connection if it is working fine or not. So these are the things we are going to discuss about in this agenda. So first one is a prerequisite. So firstly, we need to be install the Sitecore 10.4 version, because this is the latest. We are going to use the Sitecore 10.4 here. So you can install the vanilla version here. And then next thing, we need to be make sure that we have the access on the Sitecore Content Hub. So make sure you have the credential, username and password is there, where you can log in on the Sitecore Content Hub portal, and you are able to see all these things in the Content Hub. As well as you need to be download the two packages. First one is a Sitecore Connect for Content Hub Save package, as well as you need to be download the Sitecore Connect for Content Hub WDP package. So these are the two packages which you need to be download, which the link here mentioned. You need to be download these two packages. So yeah, in the next slide, you once you will download in the folder, you need to be create a one folder in the destination folder you can create, where you can paste your these two zip files into the folder. So the next step, in the next step, we need to be unzip the Sitecore Connect for Content Hub. So the Content Hub Sitecore Connect for Content Hub, Sitecore this package we need to be unzip Sitecore Connect for Content Hub. This zip we need to be unzip it. So once you will unzip, there will be the one file deploy.ps1 will be there. In the deploy.ps1, we need to be run into the PowerShell command, and these are the parameter which we need to be passed while we are running this deploy.ps1. So these are the parameter which we are going to discuss in the next slide. So what are the things we need to be passed? So yeah, in these parameters, we need to be pass WSCCS WDP package. So this is the package which we have downloaded in the previous step. So one we have already unzip it. The second package we need to be mentioned the path here, where we have pasted into the destination folder. So the same folder path we need to be given to this location. As well as in the instance name, you need to be give whatever the vanilla instance you have installed, the Sitecore 10.4, you need to be give the instance name here in the whatever the IAS name you have mentioned, you need to be mentioned in the instance name. As well as you need to be mentioned the instance URL. So once you have installed the vanilla instance, whatever the URL it has created, so you need to be mentioned in the instance URL. So the next Sitecore admin user and the Sitecore admin password. So once you have installed the vanilla version, whatever the username and password you have given, you need to be mention it here. If suppose you have given the admin and B password, so you need to be mention the admin and the B password here, and whatever the password you have mentioned, you need to be pass it here. In the SQL instance name, while we are installing the vanilla version, it will be create some SQL databases in the SQL. So there's a prefix will be there, the Sitecore SQL database prefix name will be there. That prefix name we need to be mentioned into the SQL instance name. The SQL user and the password, whatever the username and password you are using into the SQL, you need to be mentioned in these two parameters, as well as the SQL server name, whatever the SQL server name you are using, you need to be mentioned here. So last parameter, we have the skip database installation. So if you are using the WSS package, which is a 10 more than Sitecore 10 point version or it's later, then you need to be set as a true value. Otherwise, you need to be set as a false value here. So in the next slide, we will discuss about how we can enable the DAM. So firstly, by default, this value will be the false. So we need to be enable it. So firstly, you need to be go to the inet pub www root, and there will be your vanilla instance will be there. In the vanilla instance, you will have the web.config file. So you need to be open that web.config file, and you will able to find this add key equals to DAM enable define the value equals to yes. Means by default it will not be yes, but you need to be set as a value as a yes. So once you will be set, it will be enabled as a DAM. In the next slide, we need to be generate the OAuth token. So once you will have the access on the content hub, you can go into that URL and you need to be log in with your credentials. So once you will log in, you will able to see this type of a screen. And in the top right corner, there will be the manage button will be there. In the top right, you will see able to see the manage button. So once you will click on the manage button, you will able to see these all the icons. So where you can find the OAuth clients icon. Otherwise, you can search there as well. You can find it. So once you will click on the OAuth client, so in the next slide, it will be ask you to create a OAuth client. So in the top right, you will able to see the plus icon, OAuth client button will be there. So once you will click, it will be have in the next slide, it will be open one pop-up where it will be asked the name, client ID, client secret, and the redirect URL. So in the name and the client ID, you can mention whatever you want to mention. Can be a some GUID, can be a some string value. You can mention it anything. And in the client secret ID, you can generate the random GUID. So here we need to be mentioned the random GUID. You can generate the online or you can mention whatever you want, but it will be require the GUID. So once you will mention the client secret ID, so next in the next text box, we have the redirect URL. So in the redirect URL, you need to be mentioned the Sitecore URL here. So once you will mention the Sitecore URL, you need to be click on the save button. So once you will save, then means it will be create your OAuth client, and you need to be remember this client ID and the secret ID. You can mention somewhere in your notepad, so it is going to be used in the next steps. So in the next slide, we need to be configure the course for the dams. So we to configure the course for the dam, again we need to be go into the same screen after the login into the content app. We need to be click on the manage icon in the top right corner, and there will be the setting icon will be there in the which is it is showing in the slide. So once you will click on the setting in the next slide, it will be open this screen. In the left hand side there will be the lots of options will be there, so you can find it inside this portal configuration, or you can search it the course configuration. So directly if you are searching in the text box, it will be visible it here. So once you will click on this course configuration, in the right hand side you will able to see this text box here. So in the text box, you need to be mention your vanilla instance URL, whatever the local URL you are using, or whatever the vanilla instance URL you are using. You need to be mention the URL Sitecore URL here, and then you need to be click on the save button. So after this one, it will be configure the course for the DAM. Now, in the next step, we need to be create the users. So again, we need to be logging into the content. We need to be coming to the screen, and then you need to be click on the top right corner, which is the manage icon. So once you will click here, there will be the users icon will be there. So you need to be click on the users. In the next slide, next step we need to be click on the top right corner plus user. So now we are going to create a new user, and there will be the button plus user. So once you will click on this user, in the next step, it will be open this screen where it will be asked the username and the modules. So whatever the username you want to give to create a user, you can give it the username. If you want to select some modules, then you can select a module as well, and then you need to be click on the save button. So in the next step, we need to be this screen will be visible, and the user group tab will be visible here. So once you will click on this user group, there will be the one link button will be there, which will be add to the user group. So once you will click on the add to the user group, in the next step, so this screen will be there where it will be asked to add some relevant policy. So whatever the relevant policy you think that is enough for that user, you can add it. For by default, right now for the demo purpose, I have added as a super user. So you can add whatever the policy you want, and then at last step you need to be click on the save button. So once you will save it, it will be create a users which can be used in that connection string. So now in the next step, we need to be add the connection string into our connection string file. So go into the vanilla instance and then open the connection string file. And these are the three connection strings which needs to be add. First one is the dam.content hub. Second one is the dam.search page. The last one is the dam.external redirect key. So these are the three connection strings we need to be add. And they are the few values which needs to be filled. The first one, we have the client ID and the client secret ID. So in the previous slide, we have discussed in the OAuth how we can generate this client ID and the client secret. So when we have generated, we have mentioned the client ID and the client secret. So that value we need to be mentioned it here in this connection string. Okay, so in the next value, we need to be pass it as a username and the password. So whatever the user you are using for the content app, you need to be mention the username and the password here in the connection string. So the next we have the URI. So this is nothing but the content of URL which we need to be mention it here. So last one we have the Sitecore Content Hub search page URI. So this is the URI we need to be mentioned it here. You can see the URL, whatever the damn URL you have, whatever the content of URL you have. So slash URI we have the slash en hyphen us slash Sitecore hyphen dam dot slash connect and the approve assets. So here um, we need to be mention this URL. So we are adding this approved assets URL only in the connection string. So it will be only visible the approved media item while we are browsing in the XM or the XP. So that's why we have mentioned the approved slash assets. So in the next step, next step, we also need to be set this value into the connection, this setting into the web config file. So again, you need to be go into your vanilla instance and open the web config file. So in the web config file, you need to be add this settings in the web config file. So this we are adding. So the content security policy is added the layer to the security that has to detect and mitigate the certain types of attacks, including the cross-site scripting and data injection attacks. So that's why we are adding these settings into the config file. In the next slide, we need to be add the portal configuration. So to add a portal configuration, we need to be go to the settings again, and then need to be manage. We need to be click on the manage. Then we need to be go into the settings. So once we will click on the setting, it will be open this screen, and in the left hand side you will able to see the portal configuration. So either you can find it or either you can search in the text box. So in the portal configuration, then you need to be inside the portal configuration. There will be the authentication option will be there. So you need to be find the authentication option inside the portal configuration. So in the next step, we need to be set as a authentication mode as a passive. So whatever the provider we have, we need to be set as authentication mode as a passive, and then we need to be we need to be save this value. Yeah. So in the next step, so yeah, all settings we have done all of the things, the prerequisite, we have already run the PowerShell command, we have enabled the DAM and generated the over token, as well as we have created the users, added the connection strings, portal configuration, all of the things we have already done for this DAM. Now we need to be chat test our connection into your XM or the XP. So what we are going to do, we can create any template there. And once we have created a template, we can create this field as a media item. And then we can need to be create as a, in the content item, we need to be create the item from that template. And once you will do, there will be the, in the, you can see in the left hand side, there's an image. You will, once you will done, then it will be show the browse Sitecore dam link button will be there. So once you will click on this one, it will be open this pop-up, which will be asked to insert from the Sitecore dam. So if you are already logged in with the content app, then it will not ask for the credential. But if you are not logged in, then it will be asked for the credential. So whatever the content hub credential do you have, you need to be logged in with that. And once you will log in and it is successfully logged in the next step, it will be show all the media items here. So in this example, you can see once we have, it will be, we will be show all the media items here. So you can just select into your media, means these media items, and you can select whatever the image you want. So this is how you can connect your DAM with your Sitecore XM or XP. Yeah, over to you, Himmat.
Thanks, Swati. So we learn about how we connect the Sitecore Content Hub DEM module into Sitecore XP or XM we can connect. So in the next module, that is a CMP content marketing platform, we will get to know about how we can connect the CMP module with Sitecore XP. So to have an overview and high level, the same in Sitecore Content Hub, we will create the authentication token, then we will create a user, provide a user policy, access rights to the user, then those parameters we will set into the Sitecore XP config file, and add the connection string into the Sitecore XP connection string. So this is how we will connect the Sitecore content CMP module with the Sitecore XP. Then we will create some schema templates into the Sitecore Content Hub and template into the Sitecore XP, and we will map the attribute in Sitecore Content Hub schema from Sitecore XP template, and that mapping will help us to map the fields from Content Hub to the Sitecore XP, and in between also how those content will automatically sync to Sitecore XP. For that, we will create an action trigger and bus services that we will learn in this CMP connect Sitecore CMS with CMP. So the very first prerequisites, this is the same we did for the Sitecore Content Hub DEM module. We'll install 10.4 and use this PowerShell script, define the parameter, WTP package, instance name, instance URL, admin user, admin password, SQL instance, SQL user, password, server name, and skip database installation, either true or false, depends on your Sitecore version. So this script we will execute that we learn in DEM module. So we'll script this. This will help you to install uh, the DAM and CMP config in your Sitecore content tree, as well as provide the connection, dummy connection and config files in your Sitecore XP instance. To enable yes, we are going to connect the Sitecore Content Hub in XP. So in Sitecore XP instance, in web config, we will enable CMP enable define to yes. By default, it's false. So these keys, yes, when you install this Sitecore PowerShell scripts, this update your Sitecore XP config file. So in that part, it also adds few keys, CMP enabled, DAM enabled. By default, it's false, but we connected them, so it's yes. Now we connecting CMP, so we'll set it to yes. So we allowing connecting CMP in our XP instance, so we will set it to enable. Then we saw that authentication client. Go to the Sitecore Content Hub, click on the manage on dashboard. You will have a auth client. That auth client will open a pop-up. Then pop-up, you can provide a name, client ID, client secret ID, redirect URL, that is Sitecore, and user. These are not required. So this field, this auth client we generate. So this auth client value we need to connect. We need into the connection string that parameter we update into the Sitecore XP instance. Then set the course. We saw the same setting. If you already set up all this configuration, auth client and user, no need to do it again. But for reference, I'm just reiterating again. So course, click on the course configuration, add your URL, click on save. Then same, create a user, go to the Content Hub manage icon on dashboard, click on the user, and on user, it will ask you the username and password. Same, click on the plus user icon. It will ask you the username, whatever module access you want to provide. So if you click on module, it will populate all 5 modules, but you only connecting the DAM and CMP, you can only provide access of DAM and CMP module. Then add it to the user group. By default, group membership is everyone, and according to your requirement, you can provide a membership. But for the demo purpose, I'm giving a membership as a super user to this particular user. The same steps again repeating. This all we will set, create a auth client, enable CMP inside Core XP, and create a user. So all these parameter we will use in next slides about in the connection string. So these are inside Core Content Hub. Then next, once we have a parameter, we will set in web config and connection string, but how the Content Hub content will flow to the Sitecore XP. For that, we will create a action and some trigger. Action and trigger. So this is the this one is the action inside Core Content Hub. On manage icon, you will get the option for the action. On the, when you Sitecore will set up your Azure PaaS managed cloud service, they provide you the in Content Hub by default hub in and hub out endpoint. Those hub in and hub out endpoint you will use into the connection string. That is a Azure bus service. If you want to define your custom, then you can use Azure service bus. You can create your own as well. Their hub in and hub out you can define into the Azure while creating the bus service. So here I'm using the default one that created by Sitecore, and it will be automatically available. It will be available in your Sitecore Content Hub. So these are the parameter we need to use into the connection string. So this is Azure Service Bus set as a action. So you can see in DAM we added 3 connection string. So in CMP again we going to add 4 connection strings. First one is CMP Content Hub. Second one is CMP Service Bus Entity Path In. Third one is subscription, and fourth one is path out. So Content Hub, you see client ID. We created that client ID. We client ID, client secret, username, password, and URI. While we generated the auth token and user, use those parameters. Service bus path in. This path in is you can use this hub in parameter variable, and the subscription will and the path out you can use the uh, this one, the hub out parameter, and the subscription name by a set value hub out subscription. Then that you can default set the hub out subscription. So these all detail we discussed in previous slide about this parameter. So all the detail we have: client ID, secret ID, username, password, URI, Sitecore content URL, incoming topic, that is the hub in, subscription name, set value to hub out subscription, and ongoing topic, it's the content is imported to Sitecore. So this is how you set the connection string inside your Sitecore XP. Then same, the security policy in web config, you need to add this to avoid the access cross-site server service attack and all this configuration you have to add in your web config file. So this is how you will connect your Sitecore Content Hub, your Sitecore XP. Now, we created an action. That action we defined the in and out path of Azure Bus. But to trigger that action, we will create a trigger into Sitecore Content Hub. That Sitecore trigger will trigger on click on the save or delete or modification, whatever we can define. And this save and modification, deletion, all the entity we define in content. So for example, in Content Hub, you will create a new content, for example, blog or news, and after creation, you will click on the save. So on the save button click, that trigger will invoke and it will execute that action which we defined as your bus service. So your content will be synced to the Sitecore XP. So here you can see we configure the trigger. So the trigger option you will get from the manage section, and in trigger you will provide a name, objective. Three objectives there: creation, modification, and deletion. So select if any content is created or modified. So that time our action will trigger and data will sync to the Sitecore XP. And execution type is in background or in process. So here we select the in background. In process will be have some performance issue can be there. So try to use it as a in background. So this is how you will configure the trigger. And in trigger, you can see there are three tabs: general, condition, and action. So in general, we define the name, when trigger will execute, creation and modification, type is background. Now condition, what condition? So in Sitecore Content Hub, when you create any content type, for example, I'm creating a content type is a CMP demo. You can understand in same way when you create a template into Sitecore XP, blog, news, or all these. So I'm creating a I will create a one content type CMP demo. So my trigger will only trigger if I create a CMP demo type and click on the save. So my type to content, current value content CMP demo, then only this will trigger. And on the action, we will define the action name, which we define into the hub in and hub out Azure bus service. So this is how you will set the trigger. Now you're all set, and your content hub is connected to Sitecore XP. Now we going to learn how we create a content type in Sitecore Content Hub, and how it will be synced. So content type you can understand is a template which we create in XP. So when we create the same into Content Hub, we say a content type. Schema is a template. So we create a content hub and manage icon. There are content type. When you click on the content type, I'm creating a CMP demo. This is the identifier. M.content type will automatically add as a prefix, as a CMP demo. Set icon, same. You set an icon in template in XP, color and all the things. So this is how you can create a content type. And in content type, once you create a content type, it will give you the two section, content and details. In content, you can I'll create a title, description is visible, demo date. These are the fields. Understand in such a way, in Sitecore template, you create a template, there is a data section, and you define the field title, description is visible, and their type. So same how we create a content type in Content Hub, variable title, description is visible. If there is any date or boolean, add into the details. So how we create this field into the content hub. So when you see, when you create any new content type and click on save, you'll get this type of interface. And in interface, you click on the add member. So add member will ask you the type, which type of field you want to add: boolean, date time offset, decimal. So click on the field and provide the name. So for example, add member will, once you select the type, write a name here, label and help text, and click on the save. It will add you as a title, description is visible, demo. This is how you can add your field in Sitecore content type. Now you have a content type created into Sitecore Content Hub. Uh, then we will create a content because we created a schema or template in Sitecore Content Hub. So once it's ready, go to the Sitecore Content Hub ribbon bar. You can see content under search and click on the plus content. Now it will open a pop-up and ask you the name of your content and type. In the type, it will ask you what type of content you're going to create. So we created a content type template that is a CMP demo. So you will select CMP demo. If you create a content type blog, news, article, student details, all the things, so select that type of content. It's same in Sitecore XP, we create number of templates for student, employee, blog, article. When we create a content, we select that particular template. So here, the same, we create a content, select the type. So you can see once you create, click on save. It will open this field. So you can see in title, I put request a demo, and description, welcome to demo page, introduction, and add the image. So these are the field: title, description. You can see we created here title, description. So this is how we create a content in Content Hub. Now next, our content is created into Sitecore Content Hub. Uh, the next step, we already connected our Content Hub to the Sitecore XP, but now we create a trigger and action as well. But in Sitecore XP, how it will be synced? So in XP, we will create a Sitecore template with same field: title, description, is visible, demo date, and we will map this field title with Sitecore template field title, description with Sitecore template field description. So you can see here, I'll go to the Sitecore template. You hope you all aware with this. Go to the template, click on the create a new template, CMP demo, describe a section, title, description, is visible, demo date. Same four field I created into the Sitecore XP. Type defined, single line, rich text, checkbox, date time. So created here. Now I'm creating one more CMP demo details where inheriting that previous template CMP underscore demo. Then I'm creating a detail page. Under this, I'll be seeing all the Sitecore content type. Now I have created a template in Sitecore XP. My content is exist in Sitecore Content Hub. Now the next is the mapping. How I do a mapping. So to define the mapping, navigate to Sitecore system, uh, module CMP config. You can see module CMP config. Under the config, you will insert entity mapping. There is an option of entity mapping. There you define the mapping. So if you have in Content Hub, you have number of content types, so you can define, create each entity mapping for each one. So this entity mapping, we will define that at which path my all CMP demo type will sync, and how it will be synced. So you can see I'll create on content entity mapping, what will be the content type in Content Hub and which template from the Sitecore XP. So click on entity mapping. So see, I created, this is CMP demo. Here I'll be define the schema from my Content Hub. So my Content Hub schema name is M content type CMP demo. It will create a bucket under content home CMP demo detail page. So you can see I created a bucket Sitecore content home CMP demo detail page. So I defined here my template in Sitecore template demo project. So India page type CMP demo details, which I have created. You can see here, this one I created an inherited CMP demo. So this is the path of my template where all the fields are there. So I have defined it the Sitecore XP. So you can see, third one is my Sitecore XP template. First one is my Sitecore Content Hub template, and the path where it's going to be synced. And the next, what will be the name? If it sync number of item, what name it will be? So I'm defining CMP demo title. This is the name of the field of my Sitecore Content Hub. So you can see if I'll go here in content, you can see I'm giving CMP demo underscore title. This is the field name of this first field. So whatever item it will create by the name of the type which I defined. this one, and check the should update the items. If you update any item name there, it will automatically. So the this is the mapping. I define my content hub template, Sitecore template, I path of the Sitecore content tree, and the name of what will be the name of my Sitecore items. So, and the next we will map the field. So once you have a CMP demo, click on the right click on the CMP demo. It will ask you the option field mapping, relation mapping, tag field mapping, or related entity. So to understand in easy way, Lemon, we created a simple field type. So I'm using field mapping for all fold field. If you define any relation in your Sitecore Content Hub, then use relation field mapping. If you take your Sitecore content with any article with number of tag, and those tag you want to map in your Sitecore template, then use tag field mapping and related entity mapping, where content you have a tree structure type of field in your Sitecore template and content hub. So use this one. So to understand easy, I am using only field mapping. So right click, insert field mapping. So you can see I have added 4 field mapping. Title, description is field. So in first title, you can see name of my Sitecore content hub template field name title, that will be mapped to CMP demo data section title field. You can understand for description, name of my Sitecore content hub template field description. This description is going to be synced with my description field, which I created in Sitecore template. So this is how you will define for all fold field mapping. So once you map, you can, and once you map and sorry, once you create, once you map, now it will sync. So go to the Sitecore content hub, click create any new content type. I'm creating, for example, requested demo. This is the name, and title is requested demo. Description is this one, and I'll click on the save. So after click on the save, it will sync this requested demo content to my Sitecore XP under CMP demo details. See requested demo. Why the name is requested demo? Because we set request title property as a name. You can see this one, title as a item name property. That is why the name is requested demo, and you can see the value requested demo, welcome to demo page, and these are the other value is variable and demo date. To understand, let's take one more example. I'm creating a I created a CMP demo page. Title is lorem ipsum. So you can see item name is lorem ipsum. It's not a CMP demo page because we set the property item name as an item name, and the title sync to the title, description syncs to the description, and these are the other value is variable and demo date. So if you update and delete, create anything into Sitecore for CMP demo page, it will automatically sync under your Sitecore content tree. So this is how your sync will be work from Sitecore Content Hub to Sitecore XP. So that's it. That's all. Uh, if you have any questions.
Yeah, thank you for the great presentation. And guys, if you have any questions, please ask. This is your chance. I have a question, Himmat. Like for
Hmm.
using this assets, right? Like on save action, right? Suppose
Hmm.
if somebody wants to review the content that is created, like we are triggering it on the save action, right? Can we also trigger it on after reviewed workflow? Like because this is like is there feasibility for reviewed assets as well? Like this is just on save action. Like if you put any dummy data also, it is getting triggered into the Sitecore CMP, right? I mean XP environment.
Hmm.
So is there
So
a possibility to add workflow as
yes,
well?
yes, yes. So Sitecore Content Hub CMP module provides a workflow. The workflow which you may use into the Sitecore XP, there is a workflow we define draft, review, then approval. So same type of workflow option we have in Sitecore Content Hub. So for all content type, we define the workflow. We can define the workflow. So if you see the trigger condition, let me show you. See, This is the trigger condition we defined. Here I simply defined the condition. If my type is CMP demo, you can add more condition. If my content type to content stage is final, workflow stage is final, not review, not draft, then only it will sync, and as use as is end operator. So here in condition, you can define that if my CMP demo workflow is in final stage, then it only will sync. So yes, we can define that. This is how.
Okay, that is great. That is great. Thank you for the clarification.
Until unless we any author is drafting in idea stage and drafting anything, it will sync and everything will be in our production.
Yeah, that was the query. Yes.
And even in condition, you can write number of condition. For example, testing purpose, you can write my type to content to type content, and the field name like title content. If you have any title like special title, Sitecore or prefix, if any type CMP demo type final stage and title contains uh, Yamini or Sitecore, then only it will sync. So number of condition you can define here. There are lots of
Mm.
options available. Mm.
Okay, okay, understand. Like suppose it's a Christmas or something like for a particular template also
Mm.
it will be triggering. Okay, understood.
Right.
Thank you.
Any more question?
Any questions? Okay. I don't think we have any other questions. I think Swati and Hemant, that was really a great presentation and really happy to understand new things from Content Hub and XP as well, and also into the latest version of 10.4. So I think that's a good learning for today. And have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you
everyone.
so much, everyone.